Hey everyone. So if you've seen my other blast cabinet video and all the modifications I've done, you know the things that I've fixed so far. I have made some updates since then, and one of them was some small LED bulbs. They're about the size of a dime and about the thickness of a quarter. Pretty small, and they give me about 700 or 800 lumens of light for less than 10 watts of power. But the main thing I changed here was my dust collection system. If you see my other video, you know what I had before. This is a dust deputy. That's a cyclonic dust separator. What happens is the air flows in there and spins around, and the force actually throws the small particles and dust to the side, and then they fall down into the chamber there. The problem with this setup is not the dust deputy. It worked great. But it's just the use of a vacuum, because the vacuum has filters in it. Every 3 or 4 hours of use, I'd have to clean the filter out. And I learned the hard way that when the filter gets plugged up and you don't realize it, well, the dust starts bypassing the filter and coming out into the shop. And once I found that out, I had it with this setup. So I decided I'm going to do something better, something smaller, because I'm trying to restore a Corvette in a 2-car garage, and I only have one side of that 2-car garage. So I need as much space as I can get. So I came up with this system, which is also cheaper. It's a 1 1/4 inch PVC plumbing. I think you can go with 1 1/2 inch would fit too, but this works just fine for this. I've just kind of got this as a temporary install. I bought this brand new. It was $40 on eBay, and so I just used caulking and stuff, thinking, well, if it doesn't work, I'll just clean it up and resell it. But it actually works great. So here you can see, instead of just one large cyclone, I've got a bunch of small ones. Now, the thing about the smaller cyclones, if you do any reading on them, is they have a higher velocity of airflow in them because they're smaller. So you can actually filter out even finer particles than you could with one large one. Now this is my leaf blower. It's a Works, I think it's called a Works Trivac. I've had it for a couple years. I was gonna buy a leaf blower on the classifieds. They're going for, you can get a good one for 20 or 30 bucks. But then I thought, well, maybe I could just set this up and make it work so where I could continue to use the leaf blower outside when I needed it, and then also use it here. That would save me a few dollars. And because I have round fittings, it made doing that very easy. So here what I have, you can see I can just pull that right out. This is actually just electrical tape, and underneath it is a foam weather stripping. So it's easier with 2 hands, but if I can, once it's seated in place, it doesn't really leak at all. And this pulls a lot more air than the vacuum did. I mean, a lot more. It's also louder, but I wear headphones blasting anyways, so it's not a big deal. And as usual, I let the exhaust go outside the shop. This does have a safety switch in here. When you have the nozzle off, you can't turn it on. I found out what part that was and just pulled it right out. Wasn't a big deal. But beware, if you do that. Be careful with it around your kids, or if you ever have to clean out that impeller in there, just make sure you unplug it. So, that's about 15 minutes of blasting right there. Pretty good. It's working out really well. And this does usually have a filter on it right here. I just glued a cap on it. So, no more filters to mess with, no more dust bypassing any filters, and a lot more airflow, and a cheaper and smaller setup. This probably cost me about 45 bucks for everything. Of course, I had the leaf blower already. Also, I am still using the motor speed controller. That was $20, but I had that before. And because this thing pulls so much air, I keep it in the low section there. Works really well. So, if any of you guys are interested, The Works Trivac blower, a Dyson V6 canister with the cyclones, and some ABS and PVC adapters, and a motor speed controller. Works great. Thanks for watching and take care.